Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis. Welcome to my channel, Life, Home, and My Linux Journeys. And in this journey, we're going to look at a Arch-based distribution called StormOS. I love the name, and I've seen it develop over the last couple of years, and I looked at it previously in another video, and it was a nice system then. But wait till you see it now. It's a lot more polished. A lot of stuff is in here that really makes the end user experience a lot better. But in this video, we're going to cover I've already installed it, and we're not going to go through the installer because it's just a Calamaris installer. There is one place in there where you'll have an option for selecting optional software, and you can do that, and I did, and you'll see. But we're going to just take a look into the installed system. It's installed on the MT7010. And let's get started with that. So let's just take a look around inside. Right after I've installed it, got everything set up, getting everything set up, and just seeing what we get by default. I installed VocoScreen, got it running. I made sure I was online first, and I did the update. Now, I got VocoScreen running, and this is Arch Linux, XFCE Desktop, Intel i5. Now, name is StormOS. 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 I like that. At least we see that it's StormOS, not just Arch Linux. So let's clear that screen. And let's say uname. Now, I'm going to bring up that screen here. This is the Linux kernel, not the LTS or any of that. But right here is the place in the installation that you'll have the option to install some other software and even a different kernel or kernels if you so choose. I left mine at the Linux kernel, and I did select qBittorrent and Meld. HTOP says we're running 929 megs, just under a gig. And the dock down here, we got add remove software, we got gparted, what appears to be VLC media player, and the Firefox web browser, and the XFCE terminal. Here, what icon looks like VLC, downloader for movie files. Let's see what version of Firefox we got. Go to help, about Firefox, version 115.0.2. Not a flat pack. Nice animation on the header there. All right, so this is a multi-downloader. You can download, it says times X. Now, I don't know these programs yet, but right here is a really nice addition. And I think it could be utilized a lot more than what I'm going to show you here. But you should be able to read some of what you're seeing on my screen. And if you look at the live environment, this was also there as well. So you can take a look at it during the live environment. So let's see what we can do. Creating backups, unzipping backups, last steps, update backups, test zip file, create a zip backup, experimental restore directly, update mirrors. Okay, there's one we can do. So it says, please enter your selection. So let's enter 6A. Let's let it update our mirrors. And this looks like a more extensive program than what I can get into right here. But I am going to go through it and look at it and see what all it does. It's very interesting. It's a great addition. This theming is called Black Ice, I believe. And it's black. So on the taskbar up here next to your start button, you got another exclusive tool, and then you got Firefox, and as well as the terminal, XFCE terminal. Then we got the date, the clock, the time, and weather widget, which I'm going to take out of there. Okay, so the sound, I'm going to have to configure that to pick up my HDMI, and there it is. And even though you don't hear it, I do. So that was easy enough. No new mail and the weather widget. Goodbye. If I want to know what the temperature is, I'll go outside and look. So that's through updating the mirrors. Let's 0 for exit. Now let's open up this tool. It's called StormOS System Tool. And look at the categories down at the bottom. All these options are just under the one maintenance tab. So we got refresh mirrors again, system updates, AUR updates, update the Arch key updater, renew the Arch Linux keyring, install TeamViewer, install lshw. That's a lot of options here, and I'm going to get lost in this. So I'll be able to explain a little bit better my view of what's happening here. Here's one titled Game, Utilities, and Scripts. Steam, Lutris, Only Office, Launch, DuckDuckGo, Search Engine. Pretty nice. System Info. Under the System Info tab, under the About Operations tab, Virtualbox, some links. And I like this category. Visit the Arch Wiki. Down at the bottom, you can log out. I hadn't figured out what this is doing right here at this point. It's trying to run lshw, and I haven't installed that. Not sure I will. I'll have a description in the video about what that is on the follow-up to StormOS. So this is a really nice tool. I think it's based, or I don't know if based on, the idea came from a couple other distributions, and I think you'll probably recognize them yourself. So we got some stuff in our favorites, under accessories. Let me stretch that out a little bit. Application Finder, bulk rename, GNOME disk. Go back and open that up. There's our hard drive. We'll enable the right cache. Okay. And according to GNOME disk, I didn't have to put in a password, and that's why I went back and looked at it saved my change. This says it's been powered on, this hard drive's been on 10 months and 16 days, and I'm going to tell you for a fact that's impossible. This is like the third operating system been installed on the hard drive, and all of those were tests. So there's no way I spent that many days. Anyway, it could be accurate. I don't know. Under accessories, that's Mint Stick right there. And when I go back to do the next review on StormOS, I'll show you. Got GIMP, Document Viewer. Under Internet, we got Firefox, QBitTorrent I asked for during that slide that you saw. The installation, VLC Media Player that came in by default. Foco Screen I installed. So in Office, you get very little. This is not a bloated system, I don't believe. There's some good stuff in here. And it can be a bloated system if you want it to be. Got Gmeric under System. We got Add Remove Software, Decomp Editor, Gparted, Hardware Locality Isotope, HTOP, Printing, Task Manager, Sensor View. Back to the terminal there. Let's install GNOME System Monitor. Just happens to be my monitor of choice, so I like the other ones. I just prefer this one. Let's open it up. And this says we're using 1.5 gigs right now. That's collecting, it's building up. So you cleared your RAM cache, it would go back down, I'm sure. And it'll go back down some on its own. So let's see if Flatpak is installed by default. Okay, so there is no Flatpaks, but we didn't get an argument saying it did not recognize Flatpak. So Flatpak is definitely installed. I ran a man Flatpak and it came up, so we're installed. So let's this is how you would search. Flatpak search Kdenlive, or you can go to their website, FlatHub. While that's searching, let me add a little network monitor there. Start my tweaking. Over there next to the Wi-Fi or network manager applet. Tell it where to listen to. There we go. Kdenlive is found. Took it a minute, but it did find it. So we could install it. Let's see if INSI is installed by default. And it is not. Let's see if AUR helper yay is installed. I already can tell you it is. So we're going to yay -s INXI, INXI. Now let's run that same command. And zoom out in a little bit so we get most of it in the screen, I think. StormOS 21.7. It's running on the Optiplex 7010. We're using X11 for the server. And we're using Pulse Audio. I don't see also listed there. I do see Pulse Audio, and I don't see Pipewire. All right. Let's do something about this background. Now I've never seen this. This is kind of unique here. You can actually select what wallpaper you want on your different desktops by default. Now that is awesome. You can do it anyway, but you have to do some editing. Let's look. I will say this about StormOS. Ben has always had a lot of nice wallpapers, backgrounds, whatever you might want to call it. Picture on your desktop. I believe that's Thor, and I believe that's the Frost Giants. Yeah. And I've got this wallpaper, but it has changed. It doesn't have the name on the original, I don't think. Actually, I think I'd make that right there your default wallpaper, Ben. That's pretty nice right there. So let's see if LightDM is installed. I mean, not LightDM because I know that's installed, but let's see if the settings are installed, and they're not. So let's quickly do that. Sudo pacman or sudo LightDM. This is just verifying that it's not in the system. It's not. Man not found. Let's backspace and go pacman -S for install. Install it. Now let's run that LightDM greeter settings again. And there it is. I'll make that where we can see it a little better. Only thing I'm really going to do here is change the position of that, the login where you see your name at. And let's change the default user image. Emoticons. Tons of options. Just pick a happy one or a cool one. There we go. Save that and exit. So that's a look at StormOS. Now I didn't cover the installation because the installation is Calamaris installer. And if you don't know how to format your hard drive, there's an option there to do it automatically. So you don't even have that to worry about. You will get an option to install some extra software, not a ton of software, but some very useful software, particularly for the gamers and chat roomers, Discord or whatever you might want to call those. So really nice. And this is just a first look at after the install, a look around and see what we had. Now my next video is going to be more in depth because I'm going to basically utilize it every day for the next, who knows. So far I've been very, very happy and excited looking at an Arch distribution. It's been a while since, it seems to me, it's been a while since I've looked at an Arch-based distribution. And even though I've got another one running over there, it's not the same. So I'm a little excited. This is StormOS. I'll make sure the download links for the ISO as well as the torrent. Most people would prefer the torrent link, I think. I do. That way you get your chase unchecked after the download is completed through Qubit torrent. You can tell it to check your ISO, make sure it's good, and that way you just another level of security, I guess. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. You guys, thanks for watching. Peace out, guys. Bye.